Hi, good afternoon. I'm Raleigh Brown. This is another curve flattening concert, number 607, over the last 4 years now. And we are coming up in a couple months. We'll hit the 4th anniversary of the shutdown, which signaled the sign of the pandemic. And COVID is still out there, so be careful. I will clink you a hello. Clink. This is a special clinkophonic mug that says clink on it from Ann Mintz. And also with us today is Charlie the dog's little Snoopy toy, which he accidentally left here. He's sleeping over there. I'm not going to move it because any sound it makes will draw his attention, which was also a gift from Ann Mintz. So I will say some quick hellos here while people are filing in. Steve DeHaas was the first man in on YouTube. Pam Zappardino is here from Maryland. Warren Bendler in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, or South Euclid, actually. Dave Mason in Scotland. Carol Wise up there in Maine. Carol is a really accomplished singer-songwriter, and you should look her up on YouTube and listen to some of her stuff. She's here on YouTube today, and a bloke from England is also here from Torquay. And Terry St. James up there in Montreal, Deb Levy-Clark in Ambler, PA, Carol Pred in Mentor, Ohio, Debbie Moore in Maine, Howard Hobbs in Minneapolis, I think, and Jeanette Hubner in Lima, Ohio, and Rhonda Scott Merrick in the Chicago area, Judy Wong in Massachusetts. Judy's wonderful, doing wonderful paintings these days. Some of you saw her painting. Charlie Bryant, the Clown Prince of Raleigh World. If he's home, he's in the People's Republic of Montgomery County, Maryland. If he's not home, he's probably somewhere out and about in one of the 5 boroughs. Johnson Hogg in France. It's a very multinational day today. Lori Payne in Northeast Ohio, Aretto Walk in the Philly area with Ron Baker. TJ Marker, I do not thanks for that clank. We clank, but you're welcome to clank if clanking works better for you. TJ, welcome aboard. And Kathy Marsick is here from upstate New York. Linda Quasti in Maine, my old friend and former student, Tai Chi student. And Jambo Jim. Bunny Barnes is here. Bunny, are you live streaming this week? And Dwight Shoemate is here right next door. Dwight was kind enough, because I'm a little bit laid up right now, and Dwight was kind enough to clear my sidewalk. He and Aaron are the best neighbors ever. And Terry St. James says Guy Davis will be playing in Montreal on March 7th. Go see him and tell him that I said hello, and give him a big hug for me. He won't mind. Okay, so let's do a little bit of music here. Get rolling. This is a love song, and you know, I was thinking about the lyrics last night. It's a Bob Dylan song, and it really is a love song if you listen to what he's saying here. So it just doesn't feel like a love song. It feels like a folk song, but it can be both. It's a very non-touchy-feely love song, very kind of just what you'd expect from the young Bob Dylan. Well, perhaps it's the color of the sun cut flat and covering these crossroads I'm standing at, or maybe it's the weather something like that. Mama, you've been on my mind. Well, I don't mean trouble. Please don't put me down or get upset. I am not pleading or saying that I can't forget you. I do not walk the floor, bowed down and bent, but yet, Mama, you've been on my mind. Well, although my eyes are hazy, my vision may be narrow, where you've been don't bother me or bring me down in sorrow. It don't even matter to me who you'll be waking with tomorrow. Mama, you're just on my mind. And I'm not asking you to say words like yes or no. Please understand me. I got no place for you to go. I'm just whispering to myself, pretending not that I don't know. Mama, you've been on my mind. Now when you wake up in the morning, baby, look inside your mirror. Oh, you know I won't be next to you. You know I won't be near you. I'd just be curious to know if you could see yourself as clear as someone who has had you on his mind. Someone who has had you on his mind. What a great song. And as you may know, that's one that Dylan never recorded back in the day. Instead, he gave it to others. Judy Collins recorded it, and I think maybe Joan Baez even did it. And only years and years later, it came out on one of the bootlegs, and with this chord progression, which is different from what everybody else did. I like this chord progression. It has a 3 chord in it. They're around. If you're in the key of C, a 3 chord is an E chord. Now, a real 3 chord, if you're talking jazz language, would be an E minor or an E minor 7, but it's a major 3 chord, and that's its own particular sound. Very nice touch. Okay, so who else is here? Let me just kind of try to keep up. I think I've said hi to all of you. Bunny might do a pop-up if it gets snowed out, which is, I don't think so. I think the snow is until next Monday. And Mike Miller's here. Rich Fowler is here in Michigan. And Helene Tober Fowler is also in Michigan, probably in the very same house. And I think that's everyone. Okay, so next up, I'm doing a song I wrote a while back, and it's a tribute to 3 of the people I came in contact with who had a huge effect not only on me, but on the whole folk music world, little niches here and there. And the first one, the first verse is about the Reverend Gary Davis, who I got to spend a couple days with back in 1970. And he passed away over 50 years ago now. So it really is, to play something by him, which I will do later in this concert, is to really keep his memory alive. And then the second verse is about Steve Mann, the brilliant but schizophrenic guitarist from the West Coast, who went through lots of ups and downs and I became friends with him years after idolizing his playing. And the third one is Jack McGann. And Jack taught around the Philadelphia area, also in Boston and New York, lived in Houston, lived in Atlanta, lived in San Francisco. He's one of these guys who not that many people know about him, but the ones who do, you know, and he had a big effect on the people who studied with him. I think Bunny Barnes was one of them. So, and Jack was a dear, dear friend of mine for many years. He died of AIDS in 1991. So he's been gone for quite a while now, too. So this song is called Cherished Angels, and here we go. When I was young, I met a preacher with a mighty voice. And when he played the guitar, it made a joyous noise. He lived in a world of sound, for sight had been denied him, but he found a way the world could see the glory inside him. And he's with me now, he's with me now. When I pick up my guitar, he is with me now. Sitting on my shoulder, he shows me how. He's a cherished angel, he's with me now. There was a man who lost his mind at an early age. He slipped between the cracks and disappeared from the page. But if you heard him play guitar, well, you'd know he paid his dues. And he left us with a legacy of a wounded man's blues. He's with me now, he's with me now. When I pick up my guitar, he is with me now. Sitting on my shoulder, and he shows me how. He's a cherished angel, and he's with me now. Now you may think they have left us, but I beg to disagree. 'Cause when I pick up my guitar, they are here with me. And if the music that I'm playing helps recall some of their hearts, then I know for me that I've done my part. I had a friend who was a seeker. He'd been out on the bum. He marched bravely to the beat of a different drum. He played just the notes that mattered. You'd have loved to hear him sing. And when he played guitar, you knew the taste was king. And he's with me now, he's with me now. When I pick up my guitar, he is with me now. Sitting on my shoulder, he shows me how. He's a cherished angel, and he's with me now. Now you may have even heard these men, or maybe you did not, for the gift they gave far exceeded what they got. But it's woven in the fabric now, embedded in the line of music going on for all future time. And they're with me now, they're with me now. When I pick up my guitar, they are with me now. We stood upon their shoulders, they showed us how. They are cherished angels, and they're with me now. Cherished Angels, Reverend Gary Davis, Steve Mann, and Jack McGann. So there are announcements. Hello to the Invisibles, Kit Serikaku, Joel Biget, Judith Fox, Mario Prue, George Young. There might be some other Invisibles. Mike Stillman sometimes is invisible, sometimes he's visible. He's like the stars on a summer evening. First he appears and then he's gone. There's a PayPal link, as always, if you'd like to donate to the cause. That, there might be the opportunity to purchase more items like this. His eyes are still closed. That toy has lasted a really long time, much longer than most toys last here. And it may be that I can shine a little light on my little friend here. Let me see what happens if I just do this. There he is, as usual, exposing his nether regions to us. Bring that down a little bit. That looks pretty good. So that's that. PayPal, Invisibles. I am on right now to Janelle's delight. And I believe Thursday evening at 7 o'clock Central Time, Helen Avakian and David Irwin will be doing their stream. Both excellent guitar players. On Friday, Slim Edelman, who couldn't make it today, he's off doing something else, but he is going to be doing his live stream at 3:30 Eastern Time on Friday from Tucson, where it will be 1:30, I think. Bunny is a maybe. On Saturday, Warren Bendler will do his 3 o'clock stream, and then I'll be back on Sunday at 10:30. I think I'm going to put picks on for this one because the Reverend Gary Davis always had picks on. And I can't play as well with picks as I used to, but by the time I met the Reverend Gary Davis, his playing was what I would call ragged but right. In other words, it wasn't real precise, but it was so powerful and everything was just great. And I see a few other people have stopped in. Hello to Lori Payne. I think I might have said hi to you. Susan Douglas from up there in Rockport. And Kate Mack on the West Coast. And I said hi to Michael Miller. Barbara, I can't read that well, Ulsh. Thank you for joining us, Barbara. And Ginger Hopper out there on the West Coast. And I think that's pretty much everyone. If I missed anybody, Ann Mintz is here. She says it is so ridiculously cold. Yeah, I did get Charlie to the park today. I'm kind of taking it easy because I'm a little bit laid up right now. But I got him out there, and because I didn't have to worry about him pulling me down in the snow, and there's nobody else at the park except me and Rick and Maxie and Charlie, we let them off lead, and they frolicked merrily in the snow. It was a lot of fun. And then we had to get him back. And Stephen Barnes is here with Bunny, so that's great. Hi, Stephen. And that's all I can do for now. So this one from the Reverend Gary Davis. Called the Sea Rag. the C rag, and the C rag has the classic Reverend Gary Davis dominant seventh chord. In which you play the top four strings. So if you're playing a C7, it's here. If it's a D7, it's up here. So top four strings, starting on the D string, you have 2, 3, 1, 3 fret numbers. And then with your thumb, you reach way around the neck here, and you get the third fret and third fret of these two. So you're playing all 6 strings. That means you can use it anywhere. As a D chord, it's here. As an E chord, it would be here, although you have an open E string, so why would you want to do that? And one of the great chords that I learned from the Reverend, I learned some other chords which I just literally cannot play. The Reverend Gary Davis he broke his wrist when he was young, and there are various stories about how this happened. Some people say it was a doctor who just didn't know, it's a kind of rural situation, rural black man, and the doctor didn't pay enough attention. But the other story is that they put it in a cast for him, and they said, okay, you have to not play guitar until this thing heals. And he took the cast off and kept playing. As a result, the axis of his wrist was different than yours or mine. And that ended up being an advantage in some cases because there were chords that he could reach that we cannot. And I believe he could do this one. A lot of people can play this chord. This is a D chord where I'm going 5, 7, 8, 7. But he could do that and get this bass with his thumb at the same time. And I've never been able to master that one. Anyhow, I digress. I'm going to take these picks off. We're going to go back to the flat pick here. And it's kind of Bob Dylan bookends today. I'm going to end up with another Bob Dylan song. We're going to tune. Actually, I'm going to tune after I get up here. And this is like another Bob Dylan song that not that many people know. But I think it's just a really great song. When you think about the number of, not only the songs he's written, which have entered the kind of common consciousness, like Don't Think Twice and Blowin' in the Wind and all that stuff. And then all the things he wrote that hardly anybody knows about. This one is off the New Morning album, and it is about it is a fictional account of him going to meet Elvis. And I believe he actually did meet Elvis, but I don't think that that's the way this is the way it played out. Anyhow, great song. It's called I Went to See the Gypsy. I'm still not happy. That's good enough. I went to see the gypsy, staying in a big hotel. He smiled when he saw me coming. He said, well, well, well. His room was dark and crowded. The lights were low and dim. How are you? He said to me. I said it back to him. I went out to the lobby to make a small call out. A pretty dancing girl was there. and she began to shout, "Go on back to see the gypsy. He can move you from the rear, drive you from your fear, bring you through the mirror. He did it in Las Vegas, and he can do it here." Outside the lights were shining on a river of tears. I watched them in the distance with the music in my ears. I went back to see the gypsy. It was nearly early dawn. The gypsy's door was open wide, but the gypsy was gone. And that pretty dancing girl, she could not be found. So I watched the sun come rising from a little Minnesota town. From a little Minnesota town. Went to See the Gypsy by Bob Dylan. So let me see if I missed anybody here. I don't think so. I think the crew was pretty much in and had put. Oh, Dave Van Allen's here. Hi, Dave, and Keith Shaw, and the rest of you, all the rest of yous. Good to see you again today. Kathy Craw stopped by after I quit keeping track. Linda Worcester. And I guess that covers it. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. So be happy and be healthy, be brave, be calm, be kind, it's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. Have a great rest of the week. I'll hope to see you guys on Sunday. Bye-bye.